Hi there everyone. In our last lesson we saw how we could edit our collision masks and edit our character and enemy collision points so we can have a free and nice first space where our characters can collide and basically interact with the level. So I'll just close that and apply this. So let's go ahead and see how we can add other elements to our game and objects. Before we move on, an object in your game, like I explained earlier in our intro video, are things like your characters, your sprites, your designs, your sound, your backgrounds, your tile map, and the text, including the code. Basically everything in your game is the game object. There's a difference between an object and an instance. Your object exists in the computer memory, in GDevelop's memory, but an instance is actually at that instantaneous moment. That's the instance you're going to be using for your game. For instance, this object is going to be sitting here, but if I click on my preview, right here on the screen, I'm going to be seeing the instance of the player and the slug. I'm not going to be affected by these two right here, which are the objects, but these are the ones that are going to be responding to things like input from the keyboard and interactions like so. So that's a key difference between what an instance is. An instance simply means a real active thing that you're using at that point. So those are our instances. And you can have multiple instances. For instance, I can have another instance of the slug, another slug, another slug, and another slug. And I can have another instance of the player and another player as well. Basically, I can keep cloning these and dropping them in our scene. And each of these are going to be unique. I can add different properties to each of these instances. For instance, I can make this player jump, I can make this one run, I can make this one kind of like, play the death animation, I can make this slug blue, and I can make this slug rotate. So each instance has its own right to have its own special attributes and behaviors happening to it. So that's just by the way. Let's go ahead and begin our quick lesson. So what I'm going to do is to quickly get rid of these instances. So if you click and hold shift, you can select all these objects and you can simply delete the instance. If you delete an instance, the object still exists. So you can always drag another instance from the object. But once you delete the object, for instance, if I go ahead and delete my slug, I'm not going to have my slug existing in this game again. So that's something you need to be aware of. So right now what we're going to do is to create a new game object type called the tile sprite. And for our tile sprite, let's bring in our midground. And let's go ahead and choose file to select our image. So let's go ahead and jump back to our sprites. And right here where we have our PNG, let's go to environment and let's go to layers and let's click on let's start with the background actually. So I'll click on open that and that's our background. So I'll switch over to change the name to background. And let's hit apply. So now we're going to drag an instance of that background and just kind of like drop it here. And I'll turn on the grid so it snaps to that grid. I'll just zoom in a little bit, click on this just once, and I'll drag this handle over here to have that instance like so. So what's happening is this is a tile sprite, and basically a tile sprite can repeat, non-destructively. You won't find any seams because it's been designed in such a way it can stretch vertically or horizontally across the axis. Let's go ahead and add another object, which is our tile sprite again. And this time around, let's select an image, click choose a file, and let's select our midground element, and let's click open and let's quickly give it a name. So let's say midground and let's hit apply. So it says it doesn't like how I did that. So let's see, I think I made a mistake. So I'll just say midground and click apply, and now we have our midground element here. In case you imported your game asset without naming it, it's not a problem. Just click on these three dots right here, and just down here you can go to rename and you can rename it into any name you want, and that's not going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do is just click and drag and just drop this into the scene. I'm zooming in and out using the scroll wheel. In case you don't have a scroll wheel, you can just go over here and say fit to selection, or you can choose any of the zoom options, or you can zoom 100% or 50%. So I'll just drag the midground, drop it at the top left, select that midground, and let's drag this midground like so. So here we have our midground, and what we can also do is to increase the size of the midground such that when we preview our level, we can actually see how we want it to show, or what percentage we want it to show. We can always change things like that. There is one key problem right here. We cannot see our player, but we know we have our player in this instance right here. And when we try to select the player, it becomes difficult trying to select the player because we have things that are overlapping and hiding our player. So stay tuned, and in the next lesson I'll show you how you can organize, manage your layers, and properly select things you want in your game. So see you guys in the next lesson.